It's a heavy one. I'm ready. You're like, how should I throw your pen?
I'd like to call the meeting to order. If we can have a moment of silence, please. Please rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. In accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meeting Act, a public notice of this meeting has been sent to board members, all district schools, the Herald News, the Trends, the Record, the Messenger, West Milford Town Hall, the County Superintendent's Office, the Board Attorney, Cable Vision of Warwick, and posted in the Administration Building. Copies of the board meeting calendar resolution were provided to all local media, Town Hall, Township Library, and all district schools. Order the roll call.
Mrs. Romeo.
Here.
Mr. Seidowitz.
Here.
Mr. Drew. Mrs. Dwyer.
Here.
Mr. Garino.
Here.
Mrs. Fritz. Mr. Ovchinsky. Mrs. O'Brien. Mrs. Van Dyke.
Here. Superintendent's report.
Yes, good evening, everybody. This is our last board meeting of the school year, 2018-19. It's been a very busy June month. We had our a wonderful Macapin graduation last night. We have our high school graduation tomorrow night. Tentatively scheduled for McCormick Field, but weather permitting, it may be moved to the high school gym. It doesn't look good as of right now. We also have tomorrow have our third annual senior walk. That is going to be in the AM after graduation practice. Our seniors jump on buses and they head back to their elementary schools to visit their former teachers and, again, weather permitting, play on the playground, have a kickball game, and recreate some of the moments of their childhood there. That's a wonderful event. We're looking forward to that. And on to the report. Congratulations to Robert Calamari. He's Macapin Social Studies teacher. He is our 2018-19 District Teacher of the Year. We're going to do something more formal in the fall for him at a board meeting. He'll be presenting at our first day back staff meeting in September, the day after Labor Day, and then we'll bring him to a board meeting shortly thereafter. But I just want to give you a heads up, so congratulations to Mr. Calamari. Also on your board members page, just to get put in your packet as well, and I left some copies for the public over there. I like to update the board on any legislative activity that maybe is pertinent to our community or to our school district, and this one certainly is. There are a lot of bills in Trenton that really don't have legs, as they say. They're just bills. They'll remain bills forever, and there's really no chance it'll ever become a law. And then you see a bill that's co-sponsored by the Senate President, which means it most likely has enough votes already. That's Senator Sweeney. So the bill is 3757, and this establishes countywide school systems in the state of New Jersey. So right now we have a system where every township, just about has their own school system. Some towns larger than others, some school districts are smaller than others, et cetera. But this proposes to make countywide school systems. So Passaic County would be one school system. Essex County would be one school district. Hudson County, Morris County, whatever. So this is a very significant piece of legislation that has not it's been introduced. It has not been voted on yet, but it's something that bears watching, and we'll have to keep a close eye on this, because if this passes, there will be no more West Milford School District, Wayne School District, Patterson School District. It'll all just be one school district, Passaic County. So it's a very significant piece of legislation, and again, it is co-sponsored by the Senate President, so that's what really jumped out and grabbed my eye. All right. Second, we had a notification from the department last week that the graduation requirements for the classes of 21 and 22 will remain unchanged. So there's been a lot of talk in the paper, probably I guess about this time last year, what they were going to do with the classes of 19 and 20. And what they did is they had a deal in place for classes of 19 and 20, the current seniors and juniors, but nothing in place for the current sophomores and freshmen. So what they're doing is they're extending the rules for 2 more graduating classes. So all 4 grades that are in high school as of right now will graduate under the same requirements that they've had for the past few years. So there may be changes beginning in 2023, but we won't know that until then. That's the current 8th grade class anyway. Also on the agenda tonight is our CUSAC review. This is a triennial review from the Department of Ed, where they come to West Milford. They come to every district once every 3 years, and they review you in 5 different categories. And you have to score 80 or above in all 5. If you score below 80 in any of the 5, you do not pass. Our scores are on page 3. We're qualified as a high-performing school district. So a tremendous amount of work from all of our staff. Really want to thank them for their time. Mr. Novak, Dr. McQuaid, and obviously Ms. Francisco helped us out tremendously. And lastly, we have a plaque to honor our outgoing student representative. I'd like to read it, and then I'd like to present it to Ms. Murphy so she can give us her final student representative report. Presented to Kelsey Murphy in appreciation for her service to the West Milford Board of Education as student representative for the year 2018-19.
Okay, so for my last report, I was going to start off with our DUI reenactment, which was a huge success this year. I wanted to thank everybody who dedicated their time and came out. It definitely left a huge impact on all the juniors and seniors who saw it, and it brought to life the dangers of drunk driving. I wanted to give a special thank you to Officer Jill Brickman in town and the other officers who stayed with me and a few other students throughout the day to carry out the Every 15 Minutes project, which is pretty much every 15 minutes we pulled a student out of class to simulate how many people are killed every day from drunk driving. Also, I wanted to thank the phys ed department who really came together and made this all happen. I believe there's going to be a video posted soon to the West Milford High School TV Science page to highlight all the events that happened that day. On the same day, Craig Jandoli, a public speaker, came in and spoke to the sophomores and freshmen, which they all seemed to like, so that's pretty cool too. Last week, the high school had their final exam starting Tuesday and ending on Friday. Last Friday was also the senior celebration, which replaced project graduation this year. There was a cartoonist, a henna tattoo artist, bounce houses, music, and a magician, and tons of food, all free of cost to the seniors. So thank you to everybody who contributed their time and money. There seemed to be a decent turnout for the seniors. Lastly, tomorrow will be the last day of school. So for the seniors, there's going to be a catered breakfast provided by the senior class at 7:30, and practice for the commencement ceremony will follow that. Students are not to bring their caps or cords to the practice. After the practice, the seniors will receive their gowns and tickets, and then they will return to their elementary schools for a grad walk. For the actual ceremony tomorrow night, seniors should report to the gym no later than 5:45. And before I go, I want to say thank you so much to the Board of Ed for this opportunity. You have all been welcoming and taught me lessons that I will carry with me as I attend Appalachian State University next year. I am proud to be a Highlander, and I will always be a Highlander. Thank you for your contributions to this district, my education, my athletic success, and my leadership accomplishments, and to my life in general as a whole.
We will miss you, Kelsey. We wish you well in the future, and we hope you come back for Alumni Day
Thank you.
and share your experience with all the students next year. Thank you for serving.
Thank you.
Thank you. And lastly, as you know, we recently finished our grandstand project up at McCormick Field. So our TV science teacher, Mr. Jordan, set up a time-lapse camera on one of the lighting poles where he captured images for a period of about 2 months, edited it down to about 90 seconds. About 90 seconds. So if we can take 90 seconds out of our meeting to watch this video,
I saw the 3 minutes.
I think it's a good one.
I saw that too.
Good luck.
Thank you.
As you can see by the video, we had rain a lot.
That's it.
That ends your report.
Thank you, Rob.
Mr. Novak?
Okay, thank you. I will have a few brief remarks tonight, but first I want to say thank you to the board for the changing of our elementary award structure. And I don't know if I'm going to steal some thunder from your report, so shut me down if I'm going to. But it's been a nice experience this end of school year to get out and see some of the elementary award programs and to have Board of Education representation at those. As a former principal of one of the buildings that never was able to experience that, I found myself sitting there today being grateful for that moment. So it was nice. It was great for our staff and our families to see that, and our kids to put some faces with all the things that are going on. So thank you for that. I think it was a great idea when we changed it up. We were able to focus more on our middle school and high school students at the whole district event, and then get a little example of our local culture at the elementary schools for the award. So thank you. That was good. Moving on to the actual item on the report. At the Education Committee meeting last week, we discussed the creation of a grade configuration committee. So we want to talk about it publicly just so we can dispel any myths or rumors or anything that might come with the idea of what a configuration committee might mean. This is a committee that has no predisposed opinion. This is a committee that is based solely on the search for facts. I think everyone you talk to now has an opinion, whether we should close a school, whether we should move a grade here or there. I think we have to make those decisions that are very serious and have consequences. We have to base those on facts. Are they best for kids? Are they best for the educational program? Are they best fiscally for the school district? We know we face trying times ahead with the reduction in state aid. And I think we need to be able to take a look at all the facts. So we recently received feedback from our demographic study. So we're definitely going to be taking those things into account. The idea of this committee is not solely administrative committee or a Board of Ed committee. It's going to invite all stakeholders. So we're going to have parents, teachers, administrators, Board of Education members, everyone who's got a active role in the decision process. So once again, not to talk to the people who ask me to deli, are we closing a school, or are we moving sixth grade to Macoupin? It used to be, hey, stop sending me Honeywells. Now the deli line has become, are we closing a school? So things have gotten a little bit more severe in those discussions. So a committee is in place. There is no opinion as of yet from the board or administration about where this needs to go, and I think it's truly a fact-finding initiative. So as we go, we'll report, and it'll be, I'm sure, part of future education and board discussions going further.
Thank you. We need a motion for the minutes.
I move to accept the minutes of May 21st and May 23rd.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. President's report. Now, I've been very busy the last few days. As Mr. Novak said, we changed the format for the awards for the elementary building, and I thoroughly enjoyed being able to go into the buildings and watch the students receive their awards, to meet the teachers and be a part of their building and their excitement in their building. So I hope that we'll be able to keep it. I'm thankful for all the board members who were able to go and attend, and I'm sure that as any of you that went, it took away, you really enjoyed the day. And the only thing that I had recommended to Mr. Novak for next year is let's make it so that none of the schools overlap, because we had 2 days where they overlapped, so we weren't able to go to, all the schools. Like one person couldn't go to all the schools, so I would have liked to have been able to be at all the schools. But other than that, I really enjoyed it. I think it kind of put, like Mr. Novak said, a face to our names to the kids, and let the kids know that we're out there, and the parents too. So I look forward to doing that again. Mrs. Dwyer and I attended a breakfast for the valedictorian and the salutatorian at the Brownstone on June 12th. That was very well received, and it's amazing when you see the achievements of some of these young people, and our students in particular. They are really outstanding in Passaic County, so it was a nice time to go and enjoy that. I just want to thank everybody for last night. We had 8 board members at Macoupin's promotion last night, which I really felt good about. It shows that even though as a group we're unified, and that even though we have our differences of opinion, we're all here for the students of West Milford. So thank you everyone for coming. I look forward to graduation tomorrow night. I am praying that the rain will stop and that we will be able to use those new bleachers, but it will be what it will be. I just want to say thank you again to everyone for being out there last night. Public comments. Members of the public who have requested to speak prior to the meeting will be first, with 5 minutes for each speaker for a period of 30 minutes. And then, time permitting, other public comment limited to 5 minutes per speaker will be allowed until the 30-minute time period transpires. All members of the public speaking during public comment are asked to address topics listed in the agenda. All speakers are asked to give their full name, spell their last name, and provide their address. Speakers may not use the names of students during public comment. Has anyone signed up, Mrs.?
No.
Is anyone wishing to speak under public comment?
Seeing none, I move to close.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, just a quick bookkeeping issue on the agenda. You have a new agenda tonight. We're going to replace the one that's sent home on Friday. There's a couple changes. Well, there's another change tonight. On page 21, Operations and Finance, Resolutions 23 and 24. You can cross these out on your white agenda, and you can insert the Operations and Finance 23, 24 on the green handout. So we'll be voting on 1 to 22 on here, 23, 24 on here, and then 25 on the white. Different companies. Robert, can you just speak briefly about the change there? This is the Macapin gym floor and the high school gym floor projects.
We were using a co-op vendor, and we, doing our due diligence, we went out to request quotations from other co-op vendors, and we got a price on yesterday morning that was significantly lower. So we investigated, we got some references, and we're recommending that we go with the second price that we got in. We'll be saving a significant amount of money, and the good thing is that the Macapin floor will actually be under budget, what we had put into the budget.
Thank you. That's always good when you say it's under budget. We welcome that, and we're looking forward to the new floors. Any discussion? Anybody have any question about the, well, we're still in the motion. We also need, Ray, can you, there's a change under, personnel, I need somebody to change under personnel there. There is a motion that's been withdrawn under personnel.
The payroll.
Oh, payroll.
Payroll needs to be tabled.
Okay. Under personnel or operations
No,
and
it's
finance?
It's under operations.
Right,
and
okay.
finance. I'm sorry.
That's why I was looking confused about that. Payroll.
Are we done with amendments? Sorry.
Well, we need to table
So, hang on, I just want to make sure I get to it.
number 38.
So the motion will be to table number 38 under operations and finance with regard to payroll.
Point of parliamentary order. I don't think Ray can make that motion.
Yeah.
Since you can't vote on it. I'll be
Oh.
happy to make the motion.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You're
that's
right.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize which one.
Yeah, thank you.
Point of inquiry, actually, should we adopt the agenda before we make any tabling?
Sometimes we
No,
do
because we're
this, I
changing the
mean,
You guys usually change the
Because
agenda
it's a motion to adopt the agenda.
to pull something.
After everything changes.
So technically, we don't need, just another inquiry, we don't need to even make a motion at that point.
It's
because
really
we
not a
adopted
motion,
it,
it's just
right?
somebody taking it. Well, taking it off the agenda.
Could I administratively take it off the agenda before we?
You should be.
Why don't we do that? We'll make another edit. We can remove operations finance 38. And we'll resubmit that in July.
And then we've got the other one, the personnel.
Okay,
Harry, I'm sorry.
so we're good with it tonight. Okay. All right, so we have a motion, I need a motion to accept the agenda, to adopt the agenda as it is now.
Move to adopt the agenda with the amendments and the hand carriers.
Any discussion? If not, voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're going to move on to education. Mrs. Dwyer?
Move to approve items 1 through 14, and we'll do 15 after executive session.
Second.
Any discussion?
I do. I have a question for Mr. Novak. Mr. Novak, would you please explain what the brain spring is? There have been some questions about that, so I think it needs to be clarified.
Thank you. BrainSpring, and actually going forward, I think this question has come up a few times. BrainSpring is the parent company for our Phonics First program. So I think going forward in future agendas, when we approve BrainSpring for professional development or purchase services or materials, we can include Phonics First maybe in parentheses afterwards, just so it makes it clear. Phonics First is our Orton Gillingham-based phonics program that we've implemented recently in grades K through 2. This contract is for the professional development for the remaining teaching staff who have not yet been trained. So our encore teachers, teachers who may not have taught a grade level that were kindergarten or second grade in the past and are now moving into that grade level with transfers, they will also be trained. New teachers to the district will be trained in this. So this is the completion of our 3-year cycle of training for Phonics First throughout the district. Does that
Thank you.
answer your question? Good.
Okay. Mrs. Van Dyke?
Yes.
Would you recognize Mr. Drew, because I know he has a question?
Mr. Drew? I'm sorry, I was looking at my agenda. I'm trying to figure out where I am.
Item number 6, we are approving textbooks. And of course, we want the kids to have the textbooks they need for the classes, but my concern is that we are approving textbook for honors biology. We have discussed for several years now moving some of the honors classes to AP classes. If we adopt 100 books, I think it is, we're sort of saying, no, we're just going to ignore that. We have no intention of doing that. We're making a commitment for 3, 4, 5, I don't know how many more years to not move honors students into AP classes, and I'm really concerned. So I really have a question about this. Are we just going to ignore that? We're not going to make any effort?
Not at all. I mean, some of these students that are moving up to AP may be currently in honors. Some of the students that these books will be for could be in a current college prep level. So they could be moving up from college prep to honors. You know, so it's not necessarily the same student.
When are we looking at doing something about this, moving AP?
We're doing it now. We've done it. We did it this year. We had some improvements, and we'll have some more improvements for 19 and 20.
This also takes into account that we've talked about the reconfiguration or realignment of our high school coursework for science, you know, biochem, physics. Every freshman is going to have biology this coming year, which is a difference than what we've had in the past. So, you know, that also accounts for the fact that we're going to have more students taking biology, more students coming into honors biology coming out of 8th grade than we've had in the past.
As opposed to earth science.
Right?
Geoscience.
If I piggyback off of that, what are the differences in the curriculum of honors biology and AP biology?
Well, AP Bio is, AP is a curriculum.
I know what it is.
Right.
But when they're taking honors biology and they're taking AP biology, what are the core differences? I think that probably is what you get at it. Like, I don't know that there's a whole lot of difference, I wouldn't think. They don't have to take the AP test.
Right, I was just going to
It's
say, I
encouraged
think
they
it's
do.
the AP part of it,
Yeah,
the
it's
testing.
They don't have to take the test, so what's the
It's
difference in the
encouraged that they do.
curriculum?
Right.
Biology honors follows state curriculum, Next Generation Science Standards, or the NJSLS, we call them now, New Jersey Student Learning Standards for Science. That is what our honors course is based upon. Our AP class has to follow a rigor set by College Board. So that's essentially the difference. So if you are, I guess, asking
If I read the curriculum for both, right? If I'm deciding on whether I want to go to AP biology or if I want to take honors biology, and I read that in the handbook, right, to see which course I want to take, can I tell the difference? Just for me, from
You
common
should be
sense
able to.
Absolutely.
It could be different assessments throughout the year, different assignments,
So
different
the difference
expectations.
isn't just the test.
Different
It's
labs.
more than just a textbook.
Different labs.
Yeah, different labs assigned to it, so it's hard to just explain the difference
And-
very
and
briefly,
just
but
to-
there are differences.
sorry to cut you off. Also to clarify, this was a update. This is not a new text. This is the current text that we have. This is the updated edition. So our previous copyright was 2011, and this is the update to that edition. So this is not a new purchase. This is not a new curriculum. This is to update the text with updated standards for NJSLS.
Right.
Do we know how many students we have registered in honors biology now and AP biology? for next year?
I'd have to look at real time. I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, we had a scheduling meeting yesterday. I don't think we're at a point where we know all those numbers yet.
So,
They've registered, though, right? Students have registered?
I think there's even like a cohort of kids that are sitting in, I guess, a to-be scheduled pile, some kids that are coming into the school and things like that.
So
We have an idea.
course selections have been made. I don't think every student's been scheduled yet.
I do have a question, maybe on to that, and what you just said. So, do we know the numbers in the classrooms? Like, do we know how many students are in each class now? Like, if we asked you this, if we said to you next week, could we have a list of the classes in the high school, would we have a list of how many are in attendance, or would be assigned to those classes?
We would have as far along as we are. If we're, let's say, make up a number, we're 90% scheduled. The numbers I gave you would be 90% accurate. And then there'd be 10% that you'd have to add, yet to be scheduled, or whatever the number would be.
I wouldn't say, just from also being a supervisor at the high school at one point, I would not say that you would get an accurate count if you were to take a snapshot right now as you would a few weeks into the summer. Because there's still scheduling issues that we're still trying to work out. There's still like some special ed things. There's just some things that you could get like an estimate, but you're not going to get an accurate versus like waiting a little bit into the summer.
So do you think we would have it for July?
The July meeting, you would definitely have a more accurate
Much
picture.
more firmed up by July.
We'll still have conflicts, we'll still have those.
Ins and outs happen all
right.
throughout
But it would
August.
be a very small variable.
It would be a small number. And
August would be the most accurate.
Yeah, the closer to September, the more accurate, but.
When
Mr.
do we
Drew?
get the PCTI numbers?
We have those already. The number of students, we have those
57?
already.
It was
80-something?
82, 81.
Even that's a little bit of a.
But that's
number
all 4
changed.
years.
That's
all
4 grades.
years.
We have students moving back. She got a call today from a parent who was not happy with her experience at Passaic Tech, so she happened to bump into me at Dunkin' Donuts and mentioned it. What do I have to do to transfer back? And I said, well, give me your name and number, we'll have somebody call you. And then, so we'll see where that goes. So the number changes. We have students moving out mid-marking period, moving back from Passaic Tech if they're unhappy with their experience there. The largeness of the school, I think there's a lot of complaints that our kids are getting lost there.
Yeah.
So that number changes too.
I'm thinking about something that you just said, though, about the AP and honors course. What would it take for us to be able to do that? Like, would that be something that if we started to look at it in education, say, over the summer, would it be something that we could look at for the next school year?
We're looking at it. We
Not
always look at it.
September, but the following September.
I don't understand.
Because right now, we're not combining AP and honors. And we had discussed doing that, and Mr. Drew is correct in what he said. So if we brought that up and talked about it as far as education in this July, would we be able to see it next September? Giving the whole school year, one full school year, before we would have to try and implement something like that.
And I think it's a good question to bring to Education Committee as to what the purpose of that request is. And I'm not asking you now, but that's something to, why are we looking to put all the honors and AP kids together? And I'm not asking, that's somewhat rhetorical, but also educationally based. There's a purpose for both courses. Why would we put them in the same classroom? So that's just a question for later. I think it's a discussion for Education Committee. I certainly don't have that answer now, and I'm curious what we're looking for in that process.
And also, I just want to say that I think we have to also really look at student profiles when we're doing something like that, because a lot of the students require the prerequisite of taking a biology and a chemistry, for instance, before they can take some of those other advanced classes. So we do have to look at cohorts of kids and what they already have.
Right, so I'm sure everyone has seen, not to refer or bring social media into this, but currently, Facebook with conflicts, there are students who want APs and are having trouble scheduling them. And if offered the honors over the AP, those are potentially not flattering choices for those particular families or kids. So to then have them in the same room, assuming the same curriculum, is it the abandonment of honors or the watering down of AP? So those are the those are just the questions that I have if we're going to seriously consider that moving forward.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Mr. Novak, when we were in committee, we did discuss the purpose of that, and we did mention, and especially Mr. Drew, that the AP would provide a more rigorous curriculum for our students, and it would challenge our kids to a degree that they're not challenged. It would probably make them better students. It would make them more, how can I say, more visible to good colleges. And I think we did have that discussion. So.
I agree. So I see two sort of outcomes of the discussion. So if we're looking for students to be more challenged and enter AP, then we are raising the enrollment in AP. I still don't know where the combination in the same room fits in.
Kate?
That's just my concern.
I think clearly, obviously, it offers the opportunity for our students to get college credit in high school years.
Absolutely.
It also, as a board, which we should be concerned with, would up our state scores, and when those things come out, that's extremely important. But the third thing I didn't think of, which you mentioned, is the schedule for our students. So if we have students that are having difficulty getting into AP courses, changing the honors into AP gives more sections of AP, because our AP students are often difficult to schedule because AP classes are only offered certain times.
Right.
So working in a guidance department for 19 years, I see the
Benefit?
the benefit, yes, but I see the disappointment of high school juniors scheduling going into their senior year, looking at the list of AP courses and saying, I didn't get to take that one. So let's see, now it's either I have to give up my band, which I've loved forever, or I have to give up my, or I can't take AP psychology because it takes AP physics out, and they have, so if we did offer more of one and less of something else, I think it would benefit our students in a
I'm just sure if that's what you're asking. You're asking to offer more AP than honors, not put them in the same room.
It would create more AP.
Okay.
Have teachers not going to be trained?
Okay,
We have a lot
sorry,
of
Will.
I'll be voting yes on the entirety of the resolutions. But in this discussion, we do have to kind of consider if our teachers are trained to handle AP courses. Because I know that, correct me if I'm wrong, but they need to have specific certifications for that, right?
Absolutely.
So I definitely feel that this is better left for Education Committee, but I think we're all on a similar page that we don't want to see honors anymore. We want to see AP.
Yeah.
I think that's the consensus.
And we do train our teachers for everything else, so I think the AP training is a good one.
And AP training is offered every summer.
Yes.
Yeah, I think what we're getting from here, if I got this right, we need to have this discussion in education in July, because it's come up now. And put it on, well, this way you'll know ahead of time, Mr. Novak, put it on the agenda. And Mr. Drew, what I would do for you is that if you want to come to education in July, I will gladly step out so that you can have your discussion for that. Does that?
Yeah, works
seem-
for
I
me.
will try to do some research on this. I believe the AP classes are more rigorous. Our kids will learn more. And they don't have to be the kids at the top of the class in order for that to be the case. So I'll do some research but based on what I know about AP classes, it's a no-brainer. Parents will save on college tuition. The kids learn more. We have more scheduling flexibility, et cetera, et cetera.
And I think, Mr. Novak, would that give you time to kind of figure out
Yeah, I think
what
that's
the
a clear,
answers are to
that's
some
a
of
little bit
those
more clear
questions?
than I understood it earlier.
Is that okay with the end of the discussion?
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? If not,
Just real quick.
sorry, Ray.
You mentioned something about new education committee members bringing coffee for the night they show up.
Yes, I did, yes, for everyone,
For everyone.
all committees.
And you
A
passed
box.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Box of Joe.
So,
Right.
do we know that we're going to have 100
That's a lot.
students in honors biology?
Are you gonna have, of course.
You mean because of the amount?
We're buying
that they
100
purchase?
books. I mean, it comes to almost $14,000. Again, 14 doesn't sound like a lot, but you
Could be
get $4,000 or
replacement books.
$5,000.
Could be
every-
replacement.
When I, yes, when I met with the science supervisor in this discussion, she said that was an accurate count.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else? All right, Mrs. Francisco, roll call, please.
Mrs. Dwyer.
Yes.
Mr. Drew.
Yes.
Mr. Ovchinsky.
Yes.
Mrs. Romeo.
Yes.
Mr. Seidowitz.
Yes.
Mr. Guarino.
Yes.
Mrs. Van Dyke.
Yes. Okay, and the second part we will do after executive session. Personnel, student affairs.
What do we vote on? Education, 1 through what?
14.
14.
Yeah, 15 is after executive session.
Thank you.
Personnel, student affairs. Kate, would you like to do that one?
Sure.
And you remember the hand carry you have.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the following agenda items, number 1 through 31, with the hand carry. So 1 to 36 for personnel and student affairs.
Second.
Discussion? Oh, Kate, okay, sorry.
Number 29. I have 2 questions. First, there are 3 anti-bullying specialists at Macapan. Are the 3 of them full-time employees?
Yes.
At Macapan?
Yes.
And there are 10 anti-bullying specialists at the high school. Are all of those full-time employees?
Yes.
So being that we don't have a full-time counselor or social worker at our elementary schools, it's extremely unfair to have a part-time employee as the anti-bullying specialist. It's unfair to our children and our community, our parents, and our staff. If you look at the numbers being what our current enrollment is, it would look like we have 1,681 elementary school students with 3 then full-time anti-bullying specialists. Then at Macapan, so basically they have over 540 students each around. The Macapan counselors, the anti-bullying specialists would have about 115. The high school would have about 100 each. I really think it would benefit our schools, our elementary schools, if we had a full-time employee that's in each building as the anti-bullying specialist, being that that is included in an investigation, with a timeline by the state. I also think it's important for those social workers that we have in those elementary schools to be doing individual counseling, to be checking on our kids that have any mental health issues, to be teaching character ed in the classrooms, to be assisting with all things when they are there 2 or 3 days a week. And so I just wanted to mention that. Number 29, the anti-bullying specialist, I'd really like to see in the elementary schools be someone that's full-time in that building.
All right, okay. To go on with what Kate said, I thought we had a discussion about the possibility of the school nurses taking on that role and teaching that character education part, since they are all certified teachers. And couldn't that solve the problem of having all these, individual people doing it part-time?
This is not necessarily instructional. These are people who would do the investigations. So if an investigation popped up on a Tuesday at 10 a.m., I wouldn't feel comfortable pulling the nurse to run the investigation.
But isn't that investigation the principal's responsibility?
Well, it's the anti-bullying specialist in each building. The principal might not necessarily be part of that, as he or she is part of the anti-bullying team, but the investigations would not be conducted by the principal. Just so we're clear, I did pull our numbers this year. For elementary K-6, we had 12 total investigations. So it wasn't 2 per school, but it averaged out to 2 per school. So, it's possible each person only did 4 investigations over 10 months. So I think that HIB in 2011, 2012, year 1 was very comprehensive, and it was a labor-intensive process. I think we've gotten to the point now where it's really not that much time out of these people's days on a typical day. And they can go 6, 7, 8, 10 weeks without doing an investigation in one school at the elementary level. So although they're covering 2 schools, I don't think the volume of what they're doing for anti-bullying is all that comprehensive. I think it still leaves plenty of time for lunch groups and buddy groups and checking in on students. There's always time for that. So.
If I could just comment too, we did put a system in place after talking with the social workers at the elementary level, where if they felt that they were doing an investigation and that they needed assistance amongst those 3 elementary people, they could reach out to me directly, and then I could assign someone from the middle school or high school. And we have on several occasions used Mr. Gluckstein to go down to those other elementary schools as well, if there were other things going on in the building.
I have a question. I'm just wondering if perhaps this, and I don't know if Kate would agree with it, if we would table this for a discussion about making it, combining it into a full-time position. And I know we don't have the money, but maybe it's needed. Does anybody want to do that? Like, table it for discussion, personnel?
Well, in looking at this, what I'm thinking is, if it is something that if we wanted to change it at another date, we can. We're not committed just to these people. I mean, we could add people to this list. So maybe does that seem more appropriate, to add more people to the list? Because if we have more people to the list, then there's going to be more, it'll be easier access in the because your discussion is really about the elementary building, is that correct?
Well, it seems that that's the one that is the most lacking
Right.
and unfit and unfair, yeah. If there was a HIB on a Tuesday morning at 10, but that anti-bullying specialist social worker is at their other building, do they leave that building to go over to start the HIB, or do they stay with the kids who they're doing counseling and they have a lunch bunch group that day, and maybe they have a kid who they have to do a risk assessment with? So if it was at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday and it's given to someone who's already in that building every day, all day, 5 days a week, I think that would be easier. I don't know who it should be. I'm not sure how, but I just think when you look at these numbers, it's just very telling. Now, tabling it, I feel like I couldn't say any more about this. It was discussed in committee. I thought this was getting moved to a different meeting. I was shocked to see it on this agenda. And it's something that I am extremely passionate about for the children of West Milford. When we service our kids in the elementary school level with mental health, anything at all, we will have less problems moving forward as they get older. And our support there is lacking. So we can stay status quo and we can continue as is. And yes, 12 is not a high number, and that's okay. But I know that our kids deserve better, and we can be better. And I think that this is one of the first changes in a step to a lot of change ahead.
Will has a question.
Will.
Are there legal compliance issues if this resolution doesn't pass tonight? Does this need to be in by the June meeting because of X, Y, and Z?
No,
Because I know that this meeting has resolutions that need to be passed in June.
No, because this is for the 1920 school year.
I
It's
mean, there
not.
can still be HIBs in the summer. That's nothing that I'm going to say, because we have had them in the past,
Oh, all right.
with extended school year.
You don't have anybody that's appointed for,
I don't think you have anybody
summertime.
appointed for summer, because 1920 would start July 1.
Last quote would have been for 18.
Right, just
So
saying
these
to the
really
group.
don't pertain to the summer?
Oh, they
It would,
could.
it would,
They
because it would
would.
start July 1.
Oh.
so you should do it now, and then if you need to make any changes,
Okay, I'm good with that.
But we can add to this list. Okay. Mr. Drew, you have a question or comment?
Yeah, some discussion on the same subject. I'm a big concern. I remember we passed a motion that allows the elementary schools to decide whether they're going to accept an investigated HIB or not.
principals,
So
yeah.
even though I suspect there are fewer HIBs in our elementary schools, I also don't know how many we rejected, what the real number of, inquiries regarding HIBs might be, and I'd like to see that, not just, how many HIBs did we get and how many did we reject? One other thing that occurs to me, and I could be wrong, this is certainly not my area of expertise, but I think that the social worker in the school is supposed to develop relationships with at-risk kids so that they are a trusted adult. And I think if you make that same adult responsible for investigating activities which may be why the adult is communicating with the kid in the first place, now you suddenly made the person who's supposed to be trusted into an adversary. And so I wonder, maybe it should be the principal, maybe it should be secretary,
Kim, there are certain requirements. I'm sorry. There are certain
I'm just a
requirements
little
legally
nervous.
as far as who can be an
I suspect at the high
ABS.
school level, the social worker is not the same person who's investigating him. Kind of needs to be a separate person. So I do have some concerns about this, and I wonder whether
We can discuss it personnel.
Okay, well, is the board okay with, say, we leave it as it is, but discussion of addition or changes to the list for this vote tonight,
Yeah.
to keep people in place until we get to where we need to be?
Okay.
All right. Any other discussion
I
under the
do.
motion?
I do.
I'm sorry, I didn't see.
Oh, that's okay. I have a question about number 1. We're talking about an extra $25,000 to $30,000. Can you explain the necessity for that?
I think you're on number 2.
Is it, I'm sorry, it's number 2, right.
Scared ya.
No, Barbara. It's number 2.
This change in numbers is messing us up.
Number 2, our SAC coordinator. Let me give you a little history.
Go ahead.
In 2013, we removed the full-time director for the SAC and the adult community school. That individual and her secretary were making close to $175,000 a year with benefits. That was a responsibility. The adult community school was siphoning money off of the receipts for the SAC in order to stay solvent, because the adult community school programs were conflicting with some of the programs that were being run by the recreation department. Eventually, the adult community school went defunct. We eliminated the director's position. I did a quick calculation. If that person was still on staff, she'd be earning $68,000 a year with about $29,000 in benefits.
So what is this total salary with benefits now?
This, as a SAC coordinator, she would be getting a maximum of 15 hours a week. That's not necessarily every week, because if she's on vacation, she's not working during the summer. But it would be dependent upon the number of hours she puts in, but it's close to $30,000. But there's no benefits involved because it's an additional...
And what's her regular salary? Do you know offhand?
Well, that's her per diem, right?
Yeah, this is her regular salary, which is divided by the 260 days and broken down by an hourly amount. So since we eliminated the director's position, this is the way we've been doing it since 2013.
Okay. All right, and I have one more question, I'm sorry. Why are we approving another secretary for the high school for 5 days?
This is not another secretary, it was a retirement. that came up after the budget was
No.
completed?
There's number
This
10.
is-
Number
this
10.
is-
Which one?
This
Number
is
10.
the testing secretary,
Oh,
I
sorry.
believe.
Oh, is this the testing center?
I think so. I think
Yes.
that's what that is.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
what we talked about, yeah.
Which
Okay,
we
I didn't
discussed,
realize
so.
that. And I have one other question, I'm sorry.
You okay with that one?
Yeah, I'm okay, because we did discuss that. On number 25, that first position for assistant basketball boys, what is this young man's experience? Has he coached basketball as a volunteer? Because if he has, I would like to know why we're paying him on the second step, on the B step.
What motion is that?
25.
It's number 25.
Yeah, he former player here, but he's
Well, that has
coached.
nothing to do with
He's
it.
coached for us. He coaches football for us.
So what does that have to do with basketball?
I'd have to pull his resume. I do believe he has coaching experience.
In basketball?
I believe so. I could pull the resume. I don't have
Okay,
it in
because if
front of
he
me.
doesn't, he shouldn't be on step B.
We can pull that tonight.
Okay.
Because it's a winter sport.
Okay,
That's
good.
not time sensitive.
So now we need a motion to table this.
A
Table
motion to table number 25.
Second.
Are you doing all of, there's two different people listed.
They're both winter athletics.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's both
But the
winter, so I
the
think it's
second
okay.
one I wouldn't question because she's only on the first step.
But
We're going to, it's the whole thing. We're gonna table the whole thing.
we'll table it. It's a
Yeah,
winter.
It's a winter sport, so it's not going to...
Thank you.
I didn't get that far, but all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we'll table number 25, so that will be out of that group that was moved before. Any other discussion? If not, Mrs. Francisco, roll call.
Mrs. Romeo?
Yes, and 29, no.
We're missing a thing. for
Mr. Guarino?
Yes, and abstain from number 23.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Ovchinsky?
Yes.
Mr. Drew?
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Seidowitz?
Yes.
Mrs. Van Dyke?
Yes, and I abstain on 4, 10, and 18. Okay. Now we're moving on to operations.
So I'd like to make a motion to approve items 1 through 22 and 25 through, oh wait, did we do the hand carry?
The hand carry is replacing 23
23
and
and
24.
24.
Items 1 through 22 and 25 through
No, you can-
35.
You can move them as a whole.
Okay. Well, I'll get to that at the end. And then the hand carried, number 2, with items 23 and 24.
Okay.
Second.
Was pulled off, so you want to...
Wait, what are we, what?
We're voting
1
on
through 30.
We're voting on 1 to 35, which includes 23 and
Okay.
24 in the hand carry.
So we need a second on that one.
Second.
Kate seconded it?
Will did already.
Will, okay, I'm sorry. Any discussion? Ray?
Can I just say thanks for doing the homework and the considerable savings on the replacing and the resurfacing of the Maccaman gym floor and high school gym floor. That's a good sized number.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's a good savings. Any other discussion? If not, Mrs. Francisco, roll call?
Mr. Guarino?
Yes.
Mr. Ovchinsky?
Yes.
Mr. Drew?
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mrs. Romeo?
Yes.
Mr. Seidowitz?
Yes.
Mrs. Van Dyke?
Yes.
Now you're on the
Next one.
Motion to approve item number 36 under Operations and Finance.
Second.
Discussion? Mrs. Francisco?
Mr. Guarino?
Yes.
Mr. Drew?
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Ovchinsky?
Yes.
Mrs. Romeo?
Yes.
Mr. Seidowitz?
Yes.
Mrs. Van Dyke?
Yes.
Motion to approve number 37 under Operations and Finance.
Second.
Any discussion? Mrs. Francisco?
Mrs. Romeo?
Yes.
Mr. Guarino?
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Ovchinsky?
Yes.
Mr. Drew?
Yes.
Mr. Seidowitz?
Yes.
Mrs. Van Dyke?
Yes.
We're tabling 38, so motion to approve number 39 under Operations and Finance.
Second.
Discussion? Mrs. Francisco?
Mrs. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Guarino?
Yes.
Mr. Seidowitz?
Yes.
Mr. Drew?
Yes.
Mr. Ovchinsky?
Yes.
Mrs. Romeo?
Yes.
Mrs. Van Dyke?
Yes.
Motion to approve number 40 under Operations and Finance.
Second.
Discussion? Mrs. Francisco?
Mrs. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mrs. Romeo?
Yes.
Mr. Drew?
Yes.
Mr. Ovchinsky?
Yes.
Mr. Guarino?
Yes.
Mr. Seidowitz?
Yes.
Mrs. Van Dyke?
Yes.
Motion to approve number 41 under Operations and Finance.
Need a second? Dave? Discussion? If not, Mrs. Francisco?
Mr. Guarino?
Yes.
Mr. Drew?
No.
Ms. O'Brien? Oh, Mrs. Romeo?
Yes.
Mr. Ovchinsky?
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Seidowitz?
No.
Mrs. Van Dyke?
Yes.
Motion fails.
Now that's a problem, correct?
Hmm?
That's a problem for us, right?
Well, it just means that you don't get any money into the capital reserve account. I'm curious to figure out why, considering the fact that at the last meeting, Mr. Seidowitz said something about creating an emergency reserve account. Well, you really can't get money out of your emergency reserve once you create that account. And, you know, our ESIP professionals were very excited at the prospect of having a capital reserve account so that they could extend the projects that they're going to do to create a money-saving environment. So since no one else decided to ask me any questions, I guess we're done.
Mr. Seidowitz?
In all frankness, isn't that the question I've been asking for years?
What?
Is what is the capital reserve going to be used for going forward? Every year I ask the same question.
Did you ask about this one? Because this one is
Capital
actually
reserve-
for our things. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Capital reserve is not something that you necessarily use on an annual basis. It's something that you accumulate so that when you have a project or you have something worthwhile, like in a few years we're going to have to replace the turf field, and you put your money aside. It's almost like having a bank account because you're not going to go out for a loan every time you need to do something. I don't think that you do that personally, and I don't think that is good practice for a school district to have to do a referendum or to try to find financing for something when they know that a project is going to need to be done. So that's the whole purpose of having reserve. It's a bank account.
And I absolutely understand that. I truly do. But what are the projects that are possibly in mind going forward? I know that we have phone infrastructure that's going to be replaced. There's a turf field that can be replaced. I just don't understand the full priorities. I have a hard time saying yes to something I don't know what the future lays out for it.
And you didn't ask any questions about it either.
Ms. Francisco, I've been asking questions for years now. This is my third year of my first term, and I've been asking the same question. I'm not slighting you, I'm just,
Mr. Seidowitz, we have a list of capital projects. You received a list last year. You asked Mr. Kelly and I to create something. We did create something. There's a lot of wish lists out there. there's a lot of capital projects that need to be addressed. Sometimes we just can't do everything. But the point remains, the fact remains that if you have something and you have to get it done, you have that cushion to be able to utilize it.
But what are the larger wish list items that could potentially be in the future? And I know that we have that list. I have all of the different lists that have come my way regarding capital projects. I just want to know what
We have science
is
classrooms that could be
potentially.
used to be, we have science classrooms that could be renovated. We have the field that could be replaced, that's going to need to be replaced in probably within the next 2 years. The running track, because that hasn't been replaced since before I got here. So there's a number of things that, and the whole purpose of the capital reserve account is to put money aside so that you have something that you can reach to when you need to do that project or a project or something that materializes. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Something might happen and that whole field gets ripped up. And then we have to replace the carpet on it before football season. I have no way of knowing what contingencies that I'm going to need money for. And that's the whole purpose that you have reserve accounts. I mean, that's the way we do business. But obviously, other people have other ideas.
Kate, did you have a question?
Yeah, I see the importance to actually what both Will and Barbara are saying, and I think we have discussed here about operations and finance kind of coming up with a list of the projects first in the next however many years or so in each building. Is that being done in committee meetings in operation and finance?
There was a spreadsheet that was shared a number of months ago. And
Can we share that with everyone?
I did.
Do I have that?
It was shared with.
you might not have it because it was done prior to January.
Oh, okay.
But we can certainly
Yes.
get you a copy of that.
And if we need other copies, we should get them out.
Well, I
If
think
you want to
that's
resend it. Oh, is it on the page? It might be on the board member page.
So I'll
It's in one of the folders.
Okay.
I'll definitely reconsider in a moment, but I definitely want to get out there. When I got a list in 2017, it was fairly different from the 2018 list. And the costs that are associated with the 2018 list haven't been updated. And the priority, listen, priorities change. I completely get it. The number 1 today could be the number 5 tomorrow. But we need a list of items and in the priority that you see could be the future. Even if that future changes, I'm sure that every member of this board would understand a change for whatever unforeseen circumstance happens. But is the turf field number 1? Is the communications infrastructure number 1? Is there another paving project that could be number 1? Is there a roof that can happen in 2 years that could be number 1? There's a lot of different things. I just want to see a list.
You have seen a list. We're not going to update it on a monthly basis.
I've seen a spreadsheet of all, that's not a list, that's a spreadsheet of a lot of different projects, not
Because every
prioritized.
school has different needs. Nothing is finite. Everything has a moving target. You're convoluting seeing a list of projects that we determine what the priorities are, which is subjective, and you're trying to say that is going to be your basis for approving money is transferred into a reserve that is like a savings account for the Board of Education. Other school districts can have $13 million in their capital reserve account, which helps them offset costs for things that they can do during the summer, boiler replacements. We're going to have to expend money for a well if we can't get Passaic Valley to agree to bringing us on. And we're still working on trying to get to that situation. There's so many things that And we don't have a lot of money in capital reserve. We have less than $1 million there. That's nothing for a school district with all of her buildings, facilities. What happens if we have a sinkhole that develops someplace? You need to have some kind of cushion for the taxpayers that you don't keep going back to them every time something comes up. But yes, the turf field and the running track is a priority. That's a community facility. It's not just for the school district. That's used by recreation. That's used by a lot of our residents that come up here to walk on that track. Now, we try to preserve it. We try to keep people off of it in the winter time so we don't have any accidents and we don't have any damage to the surfaces. But the fact remains that you have to keep it in good condition. And that takes money. The track is going to have to be replaced. As I said, it was done way before I got here. It's starting to show wear. It's starting to get cracks. There's a lot of sunlight up there. Sun dries things up. It's a rubberized surface. It impacts the condition of the rubber. But once again, this is a conversation we have had over and over again through the years. We get to the June meeting, and for some reason, you don't want to be proactive about putting money aside in case we need it, or for something that might materialize. We can't take the money out of there without board approval. So it's not like I'm going to abscond with that capital reserve account. I can't go anywhere with it. It could only be appropriated by the board. So I'm just flabbergasted. After all these years, I have no more words to say. That's it. I'm done. No talk.
Kate, I think Mr. Drew had something, and then I'll go to Kate. I'll come back to you, but Mr. Drew has his hand up.
First, we've advocated discussing these kinds of things in committee, and we did. Apparently, the notes didn't get to you, Ms. Francisco. I would have been happy to discuss it in further detail, but you weren't in the committee meeting. I discussed my reasons for doing it. Nobody ever talked to me. We voted on it. As far as I understand Robert's rules, Will is the only person, maybe after executive session, who could move to reconsider, which may be something that we did. My concern about the issue that I raised, and I don't know that this is appropriate to rediscuss this now, is that every year that we put money in the capital reserve, we spend it immediately. We take whatever we put in there and we spend it right away. So when I look at the impact of that, it's like additional tax assessment. If we're going to spend additional money, we should budget it and spend the money on the capital project. I'm done.
Is there any other discussion? It can be reconsidered after executive session.
Only by Mr. Drew and myself.
Correct.
Right.
I move to reconsider it now.
Okay.
I move to reconsider item number 41 under Operations and Finance.
Second.
We've had the discussion. Is there more? More discussion?
No, this is simply on the ability to reconsider.
Okay. All those in favor? Because I don't need a roll call for that, correct? For reconsideration?
No, you don't need it for reconsideration.
All those in favor?
Aye.
You need it for the
Opposed?
actual vote.
If not, now we need to
vote.
To bring the vote back up.
I move item number 41 under Operations and Finance.
I need a second. Discussion? Mrs. Francisco?
Mr. Seidowitz.
Yes.
Mr. Drew.
No.
Mrs. Dwyer.
Yes.
Mr. Guarino.
Yes again.
Mr. Ovchinsky.
Yes.
Mrs. Romeo.
Yes.
Mrs. Van Dyke.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Seidowitz. Moving on to...
Comment we were going to
I apologize. I should have said this earlier. I just wanted to comment on, from personnel, Karen Fusco, who's retiring. I almost missed that, and I apologize, but I just want to, if she's watching, just wish her well. She was a teacher of 3 of my 4 children in kindergarten, and, what a tremendous professional. She was deeply involved in the transition from half-day K to full-day K when we did that. She was part of that team of 12 teachers who worked on that with me to move that forward, so I just want to wish Karen well in her retirement. Sorry I didn't say it earlier.
I'm sorry, I missed it too because of the hand carry. I usually try to acknowledge, and you're right, one of our wonderful teachers, and she will truly be missed in the district.
That came at lunchtime today.
And I'll just say you're lucky you
It
did
was
that.
a late retirement, so I apologize.
See, you're lucky you did that.
Now we'll move on to committee reports. Mr. Guarino, Parks and Rec?
No Parks and Rec report.
No. Under safety, I have no report. I don't believe we're going to meet until the end of September. Superintendent's roundtable,
I have no report.
I think that won't be till September either, correct?
September. Mhm.
Passaic County School Boards, the next meeting's not till September there. New Jersey School Boards Association, we do have the board self-evaluation that is online right now. If everyone can fill it out, I was hoping that maybe in our July meeting, which hopefully will be slower and less discussion than tonight, that maybe we could work out something with Kathy to go over that self-evaluation. So if you,
I think most of us have completed it.
if you haven't completed it, please go online and complete it. I would appreciate that. Let's see, legislative, Mr. Sadowitz.
Okay, unfortunately, there's a lot going on. So, first things first, legislation to repeal the superintendent's salary cap was approved by the State Senate in 2018, was edited and approved by the Assembly Education Committee on Monday, the 11th. And now the legislation can be presented and voted upon by the full General Assembly, and if approved, the legislation goes back to the Senate to make sure they concur with the changes of the Assembly. The School Boards Association considers this a cap within a cap, so they're in favor of this change. Mental health education requires school districts to ensure that their health education programs for students in grades kindergarten through 12 recognize the multiple dimensions of health by including mental health and the relationship between physical and mental health to enhance student understanding, attitudes, and behaviors that promote health, well-being, and human dignity. The age-appropriate instruction will include information on substance abuse. The NJSBA has not remarked any support as of now. There's an apprenticeship pilot program that directs the Education Commissioner to establish a 3-year youth apprenticeship pilot program to provide high school and college students between ages 16 to 21 an opportunity to develop valuable work skills while continuing their traditional education program. The School Boards Association supports this. Later School Start Time Pilot establishes a 4-year pilot program in the NJDOE on later school start times for high school students. The program would implement later school start times for high school students in selected school districts and study the issues, benefits, and options for instituting a later start time on the school day. The Commissioner will select 5 school districts from urban, suburban, and rural areas of the state to participate in the pilot program. The NJSBA and Mr. Sadowitz supports the bill. New anti-bullying task force establishes an 11-member task force to examine, evaluate, and make recommendations regarding the Anti-Bullying Bill of Rights Act. The task force will examine and evaluate the effectiveness and unintended consequences of the implementation of the Anti-Bullying Bill of Rights Act. NJSBA supports the bill. And in regards to what Dr. Anamone handed out tonight, that's potentially something that we need to advocate against and spread that message to surrounding districts. If that's something that maybe we could discuss in whatever committee you feel appropriate, and just to come up with a resolution to send to all Passaic County school districts and our freeholders.
I think that's why Dr. Anamone brought it to our attention, because it genuinely would impact us in the negative, and that is something that we need to be vocal about. So we could probably bring it to What committee could we put it on, education?
Yes.
I would think, maybe put it on our July education committee. Another one for you, Mr. Novak. Does that?
That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Linda, I have something legislative. Should I save it for new business, or can I add it on to that?
Well, I wait for
Something
your
I will
business.
save it.
No, yeah, I think it should be under new business if you're adding it. Technology, Ray?
So Robert and the tech team have been busy looking at putting security cameras in additional buildings for security's sake. They haven't told me much else besides that. They're setting up, they set up the wireless to the field so we could actually live stream the ceremonies tomorrow. So boy, we hope weather holds out. There is a new live stream site that they're using, a My VR Spot. So we've moved away from live stream and we're using My VR Spot. It's a considerable savings in costs. So that's going to be a big plus for us as we move forward. I think that's it in a nice 30-second recap.
Is that link on our website?
So it is on the website, yeah.
I know sometimes people are looking for that. Last night, a lot of people were on Facebook, well, how do I live stream Magathon's graduation?
So everything, so I should have said that too. There's been a good purge of some of the old stuff and revamp of the website. I think you're going to see some more of that happen over the summer, and once we get into the 19-20 school year, I think you'll see the website become a little bit cleaner and probably easier to get to some of those things. I know I went on the website, you could get to the high school link very easy right from the website. I just did it, this afternoon and just a few minutes ago. So.
Okay. Township and Board of Education Joint Committee.
I was not at the meeting with Mrs. Van Dyke and Mrs. Dale, our mayor, and I believe that there were questions about the why.
There was
Yeah.
discussion. There was discussion about Hillcrest and the Montclair why and their interest. We're still in discussion about. We're still trying to explore some of those topics. I don't think that we're going to have an answer until after July. Also, the next meeting is July 1st, and I cannot attend July 1st.
I'll be there.
I can be there.
CASA, Kate?
June 10th was the last CASA meeting, and they announced June 27th and July 20th, there will be youth mental health first aid training, if anyone's interested. There was discussion, there is a new CASA coordinator needed for the 2019-20 budget year. And the last thing is the Scott Trot, the Stigma-Free West Milford Scots Fun Run, is Saturday, June 22nd from 10 to 2. If anyone would like to volunteer, the volunteers are meeting at 8 o'clock. They have a meeting right now discussing, but there's going to be free food, door prizes, an open mic, music, henna, face painting, ice pop, food, children's activities, yoga, all kinds of really great things to support recovery and to support the Stigma-Free initiative in West Milford.
Thank you. Old business? Anyone have any old business?
Move to close old business?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, new business. Kate?
It's new business, but so the State Department of Education has given guidelines for the opioid antidote and has given guidelines for training requirements, suggested procedures to follow regarding administration of it, and any school serving any of the grades 9 through 12 must develop and adopt these policies. And so I just thought, this came out like June 4th. I thought it would be, this is new business, but it also goes along with, us looking to review the policies that we do have. I don't know if that's slated for the July also Education Committee, but
We can add that one. We have the substance abuse ones that we discussed, plus the random drug testing. We can add this policy to review. We can.
okay. And yeah, I don't know, I guess it probably would need to be a new policy rather than add on to those two because it has its own guidelines and things, so.
Any other new business?
One last thing. I just wanted to say that the last month has been amazing with activities, so many incredible things, and I've always known that West Milford has really talented human beings and really incredible people, but to just see our students, I've gone to the Maple Road play and the talent, and just so excited to see what, as they grow and where their talent will lead them. And also the PK talent show, and with all the award ceremonies and the graduations, there's just so many great things going on, and I just wanted to mention them.
Thank you. Anyone else? Will?
On the good spirit side of it, to piggyback on what you said earlier, having 8 members of the board at a graduation, to me, was big. Just knowing where it used to stand and where we are now. I think it's a big deal that we are here as community members and do things for the right reasons, despite the differences. And listen, I still love you guys, truthfully. And I think that our hearts are in the right spot, and I think that we're going to do great things. So I hope everybody has a great summer.
Thank you. Anyone else? If not, we need a motion to close new business.
Move to close new business.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Members of the public who have requested to speak prior to the meeting will be first with 5 minutes for each speaker for a period of 30 minutes, and then time permitting, other public comment limited to 5 minutes per speaker will be allowed until the 30-minute period transpires. All speakers are asked to give their full name, spell their last name, and provide their address. Speakers may not use the names of students during public comment. Would anyone like to speak?
Hi. I'll write after. But my name is Courtney Stevenson, Stephenson. I live at 307 Ridge Road. I have 3 children in district. Well, one not yet. He's only 3. But I just wanted to speak. I know it was already voted on, and I wish I could have spoken up there when you were talking about number 29 under the personnel and student affairs with the guidance counselors or social workers, as you call them. I just wanted to mention that social workers have such an important job in our schools, especially the elementary schools. They do lunch bunch, they do action plans with teachers, they have meetings with parents, they implement mindfulness and meditation with our children and our young people, which is so important, especially if you're going to be adding more AP classes on. You're going to have that balance between mindfulness and AP classes. Anxiety is being diagnosed younger and younger with our young people, as young as 6 years old. I am also a teacher in another district, and it is real, and something that I really hope that you talk about a little bit more in your discussions. They say scary things, 6 years old, saying that they want to kill themselves. If you don't get social workers full-time positions, it's going to be worse and worse. The bullying law, the HIB that you speak of, talks about specific characteristics that children cannot change, people picking on them for being boys or girls or their race or their religion. Mallory's law was passed yesterday in the Senate. Mallory Grossman was a 12-year-old who took her own life. If you thought the paperwork was a lot with HIB, get ready, because it's going to be 10 times worse. It's something that you guys need to talk about more. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do I have to write everything's?
Yeah,
Okay, I will.
Anyone else wishing to speak? If not,
Seeing none, I move to close.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we need a motion for executive session.
I move that at 9:01 PM, we go into executive session for the purpose of discussing personnel appointments, resignations, current litigation matters, special education matters, negotiations, HIBs, and matters of attorney-client privilege. The executive session minutes will not be released until such time as the privilege or confidentiality is no longer applicable.
We will be coming back out for action.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We're there. Okay.
9:40.
I'm bringing the meeting back to order. Barbara, do roll call, please.
Mrs. Romeo?
Here.
Mr. Seidowitz?
Here.
Mr. Drew?
Here.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Here.
Mr. Greeno?
Here.
Mr. Ovchinsky?
Here.
Mrs. Van Dyke?
Here. Mrs. Dwyer.
Okay, move to approve the recommendation of the following HIBs by the superintendent. 201, 2019, H18 is unsubstantiated, 2019, H19 unsubstantiated, and 2019, H20 substantiated.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Greeno?
Yes.
Mr. Ovchinsky?
Yes.
Mr. Seidowitz?
Yes.
Mrs. Romeo?
Yes.
Mr. Drew?
Yes.
Mrs. Van Dyke?
Yes. Mrs. Francisco?
I'm going to defer to Mrs. Butler already. did the
Oh, okay, I'm
resolution,
sorry.
There's a request for a resolution. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Education authorizes the board secretary/school business administrator to advertise for bids on the sale of the Hillcrest property at a minimum bid of $250,000.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, that would be Will and Dave. Any discussion? If not, roll call?
Mr. Seidowitz?
Yes.
Mr. Drew?
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Greeno?
Yes.
Mr. Ovchinsky?
Yes.
Mrs. Romeo?
Yes.
Mrs. Van Dyke?
Yes.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second, third.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All-
About four.
Good night. Good night. All right, we'll see everyone tomorrow, hopefully.
Most likely it's going to be the gym, but we won't make an official
What time do
determination
we have?
until the middle of the afternoon.